Me today will be Alejandra Lewis, the Executive Director of Life on Wheels Alabama for the Birmingham region. Welcome to the show, Alejandra.
Thank you.
So I love the name Life on Wheels. Can you tell us about the ministry?
Sure. Life on Wheels is a mobile medical clinic. So we go and see different ladies here in Birmingham, and we're just accessible. We just go.
Yeah, so you go to them.
We go to them, exactly. So we're kind of like an ambulance, not a pregnancy center. So we go to places where sometimes they cannot be reached, and we work 5 days a week, and we have the same location every day of the week, so they know where we are and they can find us.
Okay, and what services do you offer?
We give free pregnancy tests and free ultrasounds. So the purpose of Life on Wheels is to reach those women in a time that they don't know if they're pregnant or if they're pregnant. So we can love on them and show her what life really is. So we are offering the free pregnancy test and the free ultrasounds. But we go more than just a medical service. What we're trying to do is to connect with them. A lot of the women that we see, they've never been cared for or loved for. So what we want to do is like really shine light over them and speak words of truth. And of course, have the ultrasound accessible if they don't have medical care or, like good contacts, because nowadays in order for you to go to a place, you really need to look for specifics. Let's say any kind of medical situation. You say, I want to go to a pregnancy center. You need to be very specific. With us, what we want is just to be there accessible and have the ultrasound for everybody without an appointment.
How do the mothers react when they see the ultrasound?
Well, for us, it's amazing. They understand the heartbeat. That's the first thing that they see, of course, and that's what we're trying to focus on, is try to see that heartbeat. And some of them, they react very positive. Some others are scared because they make it real. It's like, I can see that there is a heartbeat.
Yep.
Many times when you don't feel your baby, especially at the early stages, you don't feel it. So you think it's really not there. And when it's an unexpected pregnancy, you can get very scared just by seeing a heartbeat and understanding that there is a baby.
Right, I can see that. And how long have you been there?
I've been with Life on Wheels for 2 years now, a little bit over 2 years, and it's been a blessing. I can tell you every client has been different. I'm not in the mobile units a lot, but I love every time I get the chance to interact with them.
All right, well, you weren't there when Roe v. Wade was overturned, but right after it was, an Alabama law that protects most babies from abortion went into effect. Do you know how that changed? Did that change anything at Life on Wheels?
Yes, absolutely. It changed a lot. We started seeing way more clients. You would think that a lot of people think that since it was overturned, we were not going to see anyone. And we were seeing more women that wanted to know how far along they were to see where that they needed to go to terminate their pregnancy. A lot of the women that thought, I want to have an abortion. But that for us was the perfect opportunity, because we have 45 minutes to an hour to connect with them and explain to them, listen, before you make a decision, let me show you your baby. And 89.1% of the time when they see the baby for the first time, they're going to choose to parent. Mm-hmm. So we were loving on them, showing them their ultrasound, telling them how far along they were, and at the same time giving them plenty of resources so they could seek the help that they need.
So you're talking about women who were thinking that they would go out of state to have abortions. So you're helping them to change their minds?
Absolutely. And those are the ladies that we're trying to see, to be very honest, because many times, this is something that I've talked about many times. When you have a question, you Google, because you don't have the exact, you don't know how to ask for something in specific. So you're very general. And Google is a tool that can be very dangerous. So they would get information that is not really accurate. It's not words of truth. And we have the opportunity to speak truth to them, to say there is life inside your womb. You might not feel it, but it's right there. And then we have the ultrasound to validate that, to see the heartbeat makes all of the difference.
Mm-hmm. You said something beautiful to me before when we were speaking on the phone. You said that you don't change their minds, that you give them the truth and they change their minds.
That is correct.
That was beautiful.
We're going to love on them and respect them no matter what. We've seen different cases. But all we're doing is really show them the truth. There is a baby and there are resources and there is hope and they're not alone. So when they see that someone really cares for them and when they see their baby, they choose life.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's beautiful. Rob.
Well, I'm not, now we're almost at 3
the teleprompter.
Where?
Keep going. He's gonna. Yeah, I heard that one already. Okay, he'll edit that out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So tell us a little bit about yourself. You have a fascinating background.
I've been all over the place a little bit. Yes, I am from Mexico City. I was born and raised there. And I met my husband one of his trips. And we moved to Texas for a few years. That's where I had my children. And then we decided to move to Alabama after COVID. But it was until I moved to Alabama that I decided, or that I accepted, that my calling was to serve. I've always wanted to serve the community, but I started, with being a volunteer here and volunteering there. But it wasn't until I moved here that this is really what I want to do. And I do need to say something. I've always watched Father Frank on social media. And he was someone I was looking up to. And I can say that he is the reason why I am so pro-life. He didn't change my mind. He just exposed the truth in a way, or shine light over me. I've always been pro-life, but hearing him, how he communicated, how he was fighting for life, it was like a mentor for me.
Yep. I think you met recently at the Heartbeat Conference. What was that like?
Okay, that was a funny story. I called my husband immediately, and I was just telling you on the phone, like when you meet, I don't know, a teenager, when you see your favorite singer, you're like screaming and trying to get close to, trying to do everything to get their attention. When I saw Father Frank, I was just, oh, there he is. So I start, one step and one step and one step until I just said, sir, you have a minute. And I just started talking to him, saying how I really admire him. So I met him. I told him, look, this is what I do. I do pro-life ministry pretty much because of you. I love what you do and I respect you. And it was a great way for me to meet him. I was not expecting to see him there.
Well, that's great for us to hear that. So back to Life on Wheels. You're in Birmingham, but there are 2 other areas, I think Montgomery and Tuscaloosa. Is that correct?
Yes. So Life on Wheels started in Montgomery in 2016, and they decided to open Birmingham in 2020. So there are 2 mobile units right now in Montgomery and 2 mobile units in Birmingham. We were going to Tuscaloosa, but right now we have paused that service. And so right now we're only serving Montgomery and Birmingham.
Okay. Well, anything else I should know? Anything I haven't asked?
I'm just thinking that Life on Wheels is really there to serve the community. Life on Wheels being like the ambulance is a difference from a pregnancy center. We're able to reach more women. And every single woman that comes to us, every single one of us, we will refer them to a pregnancy center. So those ladies that end up at a pregnancy center to get other resources, classes, parenting, the boutique, all of those things, they wouldn't have been able to get there if it wasn't for Life on Wheels in the first introduction.
All right. Well, you're saving lives, and it's a very valuable service. So it was great to meet you, and I hope that I get to meet you in person someday.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Anytime, come see our little medical clinics. They're absolutely, they're amazing. You can really feel the presence of the Holy Spirit. We have the best volunteers and the best team. I just love Life on Wheels.
Great, great. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.